Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday, April 14th City Council work session meeting. I know we have a short agenda, but we're going to get right to it. Before we turn it over to the city manager for the operating budget, I think we have a few disclosures to read. I think I can start. I, Philip Jones, have a personal interest in the consideration and adoption of the fiscal year 2027 operating budget, as my wife works at Riverside, which is a business affected by this transaction. However, I'm not disqualified at this time. My written declaration is on file with the city clerk. Thank you. Who else? Yep.
I, Marcellus L. Harris III, have a personal interest in the consideration and adoption of the fiscal year 2027 operating budget, as my wife is a member of the Newport News School Board and I am an employee of the Bethea Family Foundation, both of which may be affected by the transaction. However, I am not disqualified from participating in the transaction. My signed written declaration is on file with the city clerk.
Thank you, sir.
I, Robert S. Coleman, have a personal interest in the consideration and adoption of the FY 2027 operating budget, as I am an employee of the Newport News Sheriff's Office, the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Virginia Peninsula, which is a business affected by the transaction. However, I'm not disqualified from participating in the transaction. My signed written declaration is on file with the city clerk.
I, Cleon Malone, have a personal interest in the consideration and adoption of fiscal year 2027 operating budget, as my wife is an employee of Newport News Public Schools. However, I am not disqualified from participating in the transaction. My signed written declaration is on file with the city clerk.
Are we good? All right, thanks. Turn it over to city manager. Alan, over to you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. You will find two printed documents for your reference, both at the work session this afternoon as well as the public hearing tonight during your evening session. The first is Budget at a Glance, a brief user-friendly summary of the FY 2027 recommended budget, which will also be available to the public as they enter the council chambers at tonight's and Thursday evening's public hearing. The second is the packet of FY 2027 recommended budget position papers, which provides additional details on the proposed budget's key areas of strategic focus. These briefs are intended to provide additional background and context on 10 key topics as we have discussed budget preparation this year, beginning with the January City Council retreat up until today, including the city's work around the Neighborhood Assistance Grant Program, the real estate assessment, and state and federal unfunded mandates. During today's session, we will hold an open discussion and take questions on the 10 specific topics covered in the position papers for the FY 2027 budget. Lisa Cipriano, Director of Budget, and city staff, we are all here this evening and available to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I turn it over to city council. I know we've already reviewed the some of the 10 letters. Is there any topic of discussion we want to talk about here tonight?
Not so much a topic of discussion or a question, but for clarity, I just want to make sure, for my own sake moving forward, if I have any questions or if my constituents have any questions. So we're going to increase the minimum wage for city employees to $18 an hour. We're also going to increase pay for public safety and do compression raises as well to be competitive in the region and keep the best and brightest. We're also doing neighborhood improvement grants and also residential facade improvement grants. And we're eliminating the boat tax as well and turning that into a registration fee. And we're not raising any taxes.
That is correct.
And the only fee that we may be looking at raising at this time is water rates.
That is correct.
Okay, I was just making sure I had my facts straight.
Yes, sir.
I'll save all my comments for next week. I have a bunch of them, but I can wait until next week. Is there anything else from city council about any of the position papers?
I just want to clarify. So everything like with the Neighborhood Assistance Grant Program, the facade improvement, the rules still haven't been really created. At this time, we're just going to vote on allocating money for the intention of facade improvement and the neighborhood grants, but then the rules will be created at some later date and be brought back.
That's right. We've laid out the framework for these proposed programs, and really our work, our preliminary work, is representative in the position papers, and we're certainly happy to take comments or receive any guidance that you may have, policy guidance that you may have at these work sessions, or by calling me or engaging in the city staff, so that we can get a finalized product back in front of you.
Okay, perfect.
Any other save rounds? Councilman Harris?
Yeah, I did have a, and for clarity purposes as well, with the regional crisis hotline and homelessness recommendations, how is what is being recommended from the Greater Hampton Roads, Virginia Peninsula, Greater Hampton Roads 4Kids program, how is it all tying to what's being done at Four Oaks? And, you know, moving forward in funding programs such as Link, Port, how does it all go together?
Yeah, I'll be happy to maybe provide an opening comment, and then Ginger Bluntmore is here, our deputy, who has really been supporting me a great deal in some of our homelessness discussions and solutions. So what we have really tried to do with this position paper is outline the immediate next steps that Newport News, in conjunction with the city of Hampton and other localities, but primarily this is an initiative led by Newport News and Hampton. And so I think that as we continue this conversation, you'll hear similar comments echoed by Mary Bunting, city manager in the city of Hampton. And so why Newport News and why Hampton? Simply because we share the proportional burden of providing solutions for those who are seeking relief in the case of situational homelessness. So some of you may know this, or you may not. The crisis emergency hotline, if you will, that has been run for a number of years by 4Kids will be transitioned and phased out of service. So there's a long sort of discussion behind that. Nevertheless, they're moving forward with shuttering that system. So the discussion that's being played out now is what alternative solutions are the localities here on the Virginia Peninsula interested in bringing forward to try to provide relief to those who still need to have some form of communication to find out the latest status of homelessness services. So part of the discussion is the exploration of a number of tools, primarily utilization of an AI tool to do some preliminary screening that would serve as a first stop before directing someone to an individual who could, provide further guidance and instructions around the particular needs of those who are homeless. So that's one component of the position paper. And the second component is really, again, the two cities sort of taking the lead in following up with strategies regarding the regional homelessness report that was done a number of months ago. So localities here on the Virginia Peninsula have been meeting to come forward with a redesigned front-end entry process so that there is a cleaner, more direct pipeline for those that need to connect with community-based organizations to find homelessness solutions. So these two efforts, what do we want to do in lieu of the 4Kids crisis hotline and a redesigned front-end connection with those who are homeless to agencies that can help them, are generally outlined in those two position papers. Newport News and Hampton, along with our peers here on the Virginia Peninsula, are taking the lead with funding that I'm recommending from the city and with funding that Hampton is setting aside to lead the charge, if you will, with regard to these two specific challenges. And so to help maybe with the question that you asked, more specifically, I would ask Ginger, if I didn't cover it adequately for you. Ginger, I think your question was, how do these reforms connect to the activities that we have here in our own community, specifically at Four Oaks? So I'll turn that over to Ginger.
So actually, what I would add in addition to that is that we know that homelessness doesn't end when we go home Monday through Friday. Even Four Oaks is open 7 days a week and 365 days a year, and still that's not enough. People call constantly, and so we wanted something else that would make sure that it touches, that's available 24/7. So that's the AI component of it. It's still a warm handoff to someone when we do get back into services and to supports to wrap around. But our homelessness efforts need to be something that's continual, that's available, and that's more efficient and effective than what we have in the service area now. So that's the reason for the AI. Certainly the VM advising component advised us that the coordinated entry system was just flawed, and that until we got that straight, we really shouldn't build anything else to support homelessness, but we should make sure that those are streamlined, efficient services that are happening. And that's the work that the work group is that's doing. And so that really just connects to the work at Four Oaks. Four Oaks is actually an access point. And so anyone can walk into Four Oaks and get into the HMI, what we call our housing management information system. And then they will be in line for supportive services.
I think what will also help is that after the regional study that was completed, I mean, Newport News and Hampton has started working on some initiatives. I mean, we don't really talk about it as much because I think it's still developing. But it's a more of a approach where it's going to be more wraparound. A lot of individuals always come and ask us about, are we going to provide shelter? But I think the whole intent here is to, build a system that's going to be work where we have one entry point that will help individuals get into the system, but then also looking at some back end things. I think at some future date, I think we should start talking about some of the work that is going into actually finding some long-term solutions. We took a trip recently and looked at how do we actually rebuild the individual versus providing this housing for persons that find themselves unhoused. So I think in a future date, we should probably start talking about it more. I think it will help the conversation move forward with where we want to actually drive dollars towards to helping those that are unhoused.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Long. There is a concept paper which will which we will bring back in a variety of forms. In other words, there's an idea, there's a kernel of an idea that two communities went to visit and explore in great detail. And so Councilman Long is referring to our recent trip to Salt Lake City, which we were accompanied by other nonprofits to help us think through what we were seeing and experiencing in Salt Lake, and helping us think about how that application would work, not in Salt Lake City, but in Newport News, in Hampton, on the Virginia Peninsula. So the notion is to spell out what we saw, get it in plain language so that people have something to respond to. And then that will stimulate further discussion and additional questions, which we welcome, about how to guide what could be a potential two-city or multiple locality project that would meet some of the needs of our homeless community, both in terms of guidance and support as well as housing.
Yeah, but the first point is the entry piece, and that's what this, I guess, position paper is trying to help define.
I do got something. Appreciate you sending the position papers out ahead of time, Alan. Only thing I wanted to make sure that I understood correctly is going through the fire budget. I know we're adding a significant amount of folks to the fire department, but I want to make sure we are up to the national standard. Was that the purpose of what we did with adding these positions? And can you confirm that we are up to national standards?
I think this gets us closer to national accreditation standards. The solution that we are bringing to you as part of the budget for the upcoming fiscal year provides in consult with Chief Rogers roughly 28 new positions out of a request for roughly 47, I want to say, or approximately 47. The 47 was a significant leap in terms of our capacity to absorb that full request. And so in conversations with Chief Rogers, we've developed a 2-year phase in to get to that number with the 28 or so that we are allocating in the budget for next year, meeting the chief's sort of minimal requirements and providing some relief, both in the form of overtime and apparatus, which are now being committed to make up for the fact that he doesn't have enough firefighters, with the rest of the allocation necessary to get him to the full accreditation without any question occurring as a phase-in in next year's operating budget.
I got you. And that's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
As long as there is some kind of outline for us to get there,
Yes.
because that's extremely important.
Right.
So I appreciate you.
And not to put Chief Rogers on the spot, but did I get that hopefully sort of right? Okay, all right. Please correct me if I did.
Any further comments from City Council at this time?
Just a curious question regarding the change from the boat tax to license fees. And I was looking at some of the potential opportunities that could come from doing it that way. Is there a roundabout number that we can expect to increase boating here in the city? And then the next question is, it made mention in regards to waterfront restaurants. Are we looking at some additional potential opening of, I know we had the seafood market that we've been talking about for a while now. Is there anything else that we, throughout the city when it comes to?
No, there are no specific waterfront developments or restaurants that are being proposed at the current time. I think, and I'll try to answer your question, and then without belaying the conversation, Lisa may be able to add something to it that's meaningful. I think one, it was the recognition that we're really not using a modern method compared to our other localities or other cohorts with regard to how we treat taxation of the boats. And secondly, the adoption of a registration fee in lieu of the taxes was viewed as a potential incentive to potentially attract individuals who may have their boats elsewhere and would like to bring them back and take advantage of the registration fee as opposed to paying the tax rate. So I don't know that there's a target. Is there a specific target that we're looking at in order to make this basis? No, I'm not aware of a specific number that this would generate in terms of the number of boats and boat owners wanting to bring their boats back. But I think it was more of a here's a market condition. This is what everybody else is doing. This is what we're doing. Let's adjust to the other market conditions that will generate a slight favor to our locality. Let's test it. Let's see what it does do in terms of actual return on this policy position, and then we can take another look at it.
And if I could add to that, Alan, Councilman, I think a good barometer may be at Leeward Marina. I know that we have quite a few open slips that are currently there. And maybe if we look back at it, if we do pass this year, come back next year and look at, what is the vacancy rate there? And also the other marinas in the city that I've spoken to many operators and owners, and they say that, our current tax system for boats has been a hindrance in bringing those boats back to the city, which if they're here, they're more likely to buy our gas, they're more likely to shop in our stores and eat in our restaurants. And hopefully that's going to enhance our overall tax resources from other venues instead of just going after someone with their boat tax. Because from what I understand also is that we have quite a few boats here that just are not on the books right now. And hopefully this is going to help make that, correct that.
Yeah, and it's a positive externality. So I think it sort of builds on each other. I think we're gonna have a lot of boats come back to Newport News. Councilman Long.
I just had one more comment, and it was on this unfunded cost section in the position papers. I saw an email that came out from National League of Cities, and it talked about the current proposed federal budget. In order to increase their defense spending, they will have to decrease some non-defense spending. And it pointed out towards some grants. Two that jumped out at me was economic development grants as well as community development block grants. If we can add some of those items here so we can kind of track it, because that was kind of alarming that this email went out to say, hey, contact your representative because we may be losing more money from a local standpoint. And it would be nice to have that located somewhere in this position paper or future locations, so we kind of know as we prepare fiscal year 28 budget, which we could potentially be losing out on.
And our federal lobbyist tracks it and they email. We can forward those emails as well.
Okay, perfect.
Good. Okay. With that, we'll move to comments, ideas, and suggestions. We'll just start with the vice mayor and just go around.
Nothing.
Councilman Long.
Nothing.
I just would like to thank the staff to put all the hard work in the state of the city. Yesterday was really good. A lot of great comments all today as I was out. So to the team, great job. That's all, sir.
Yeah. Councilman Coleman.
Nothing, sir.
Councilman Harris. Just a few items on my end. So just to echo what Councilman Neely said, just thank you to the communications team. I know there's a lot of work that went into it. And so everyone that was involved in the state of the city, we really do appreciate all the hard work behind the scenes. I think I left pretty late last night and you guys were still breaking down. So we definitely appreciate it. The second thing, I know we have Jerry in the audience, but just for city council, last night was the governor's like midnight is where she was able to either veto bills, sign them, or send them back. Just a few that I would take a look at that I think are going to affect Newport News. Number one is and if I'm wrong, Jerry, on anything, just push back. The cannabis market right now, I think they're going to kick it out at least 6 months. Obviously, that's a lot of taxation, and I know Sabrina's sort of already on it, but just tracking what that means for Newport News as well as vape shops, et cetera. Skilled games were vetoed, so those are like the casinos in the 7-Eleven. So I know we have a lot of owner-operators who wanted that to pass in the city, I think mostly in the north, but just flagging that as well. Collective bargaining we sort of already hit on. One, I think for the SHIP and for housing, Councilman Long, is Yes in God's Backyard, whatever they call it. So we have a lot of church land and now they're going to be able to build. And so just making sure that we update the SHIP to include the vast amounts of church land that we have, I think is going to be good to help us meet our goals. And I just confirmed with Jerry, but the school construction, the ability to put on the referendum, that's currently in the Senate budget, not in the House budget. So there needs to be some sort of committee conference. I don't know if we're ever going to have a budget, Jerry. But I know if that does pass, I do know school board wants to tie that, I think, to a next year referendum. So just putting that on everyone's sort of mind. Did I miss any of the big ones, Jerry, that affected us? Okay. And the last thing is I have 3 items for council request. We're just going to group them together.
Mr. Mayor, I recommend doing them separately since there'll be some abstentions.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks to the lawyer. All right, the first one is the Heritage High School Band for $5,000. This is, I don't know who sponsored this one.
Didn't we do this one already?
Yeah, we already sent the check. We never voted on it. It's fine.
Okay.
I'll sponsor it. How about that? So I need a second. Hey, Tina. Thanks. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Long,
Abstain.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
Four.
Councilman Coleman.
4.
Councilman Ely.
4.
Councilwoman Vic.
4.
Councilman Harris
Abstain.
and Mayor Jones.
Before. Thank you. We have another one is for Heritage High School for their social studies department for $4,000, sponsored by the vice mayor. Motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Call the roll.
Councilman Long,
Abstain.
Councilwoman Vic,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
Abstain.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Motion carried 5-0.
Thank you. Last one is a Believe in Yourself for the Safe Haven Empowerment Center for $2,800. Motion on the table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vic,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
Abstain.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Motion carried 6-0.
Thank you. And the last thing for the vice mayor, can you remind council the deadline for the line amendments for the budget?
Yeah, we're gonna do that Friday before, see, I'm already messing up. Sabrina, what did we say? I'm sorry. 17th for, yeah, yes, after the public hearings. Wanted to get the feedback from the community, and if you had any amendments or changes that you wanted to make, submit those forms, please.
And if there's any large items, just come get with me offline, waterworks, etc. With that, let's go into closed session.
All right, I move pursuant to section 2.2, TAC 3711A of the Code of Virginia 1950 as amended, subsection 1 and 5. Council hold a closed meeting for the purpose of 1, discussion of prospective candidates for the position of city clerk, and 5, discussion concerning expansion of existing business or industry, where no previous announcement has been made of the business or industry interest, expand its facility in the community, which is the potential unannounced expansion of a business in the southern district of the city.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Please call the roll.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vic,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you all.
I move the members of the council certify that to the best of each member's knowledge, one only public business matter lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under the Virginia Freedom of Information Act, and two only such public business matters as were identified in the motion, but which a closed meeting was convened, were heard, discussed, and considered in the closed meeting by the council.
Second.
Moved and seconded. At this time, please call the roll.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick, 4, Vice Mayor Bethany,
4.
Councilman Coleman,
4.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. Stand adjourned.